Hello and welcome to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Welcome to your week ahead TarotScopes with me, Intuitive Rene, and this week we are doing the 6th to the 12th of March 2023. The decks that I'm working with this week are the Oak, Ash, and Thorn Tarot and the Roots and Wings Oracle. And I do think these two work so well together. So I'm quite excited to see what message they give. We're starting with tarot this week, so I'm going to move Oracle just off camera ever so slightly, and let's get into shuffling this massive deck. It is quite a thick, chunky deck, but I do absolutely love it. Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Let's give it a shuffle when I figure out how. All right, so fire signs, let's have a look. We're looking at the week of the 6th to the 12th of March 2023. We're looking to see what is important and significant for the week ahead. What do you need to know? What events, situations, and circumstances do you need to be mindful of for the week ahead? Important, significant, and relevant insight for the week ahead for all fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. All right. Think I am happy with that shuffle, says she, continuing. Right, let's cut the deck over there and let's lay out some cards. So the first one we have, so every time I use this deck, one of the extra cards always comes out. Okay, so I can't remember, I think there's two or three extra cards in this particular deck, and that's the first one that we've got. It's a little fox that is crawling through the grass. So it doesn't have a name, so we allow ourselves to intuit whatever it means. We also have the 8 of Wands. See if I can position them nicely. We have the 9 of Swords. Oops. We have, the next card is the 7 of Cups. Quite interesting. We have the 8, the 9, the 7. And I'm going to come down the bottom here. We have Page of Pentacles. We have Judgment, and our last one that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. All right, I know I'm cutting the cards off a little bit, but you can still see the images, and then that's what you need to look at. You need to look at the pretty images. The titles themselves are not really important for you anyway. They're important for me to look at, but not for you. Right? Over explaining. Let's shuffle this deck. Shuffles quite nicely because I can get my hands around it. The Oak, Ash, and Thorn is too thick for me. I can't get my hands around it. So let's give the Roots and Wings Oracle a shuffle. And I'm just taking a single card from this deck, and I'm going to cut over there and take a single card. And let's turn it over and see what we've got. We have got Healer. All right, so fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sag. When I look at all of this, I'm leaning very much into this healer card. Okay, this healer card seems to be talking, but it's, to me, I actually want to change the context of it. As opposed to being healer, it's about healing. All right, that's what I'm getting because I've seen what's happening over here. So healer, maybe it is you being your own healer, bringing healing into your own space, into your own reality. But it is about healing your situation and the situation of everybody around you. So I'm going to start with this first card, which I said is one of the extras. So as you can see here, we have this little fox. I'm loving all the butterflies. Butterflies are about carefree transformation and that kind of thing. A little fox is walking through the brush. There is a bit of a clearing there, but he's sort of weaving through. So if you look just at the grass, you would not see our fox. You wouldn't see him. So he is camouflaged. He is a little bit hidden. But when I look at his body language, and I've just realized I haven't got one light switched on. So let's do that. See if it makes a bit of a difference. I don't know why I didn't have it switched on. But if we look at his body language, okay, his head is down. So to me, it's like he's feeling down. He's feeling a little bit burdened. His tail is loose, is also hanging down. So he's not feeling great. He's not feeling fabulous. And he's trying to remain hidden, okay? And when I see that with the healer card, the message that's coming through is we need to pay attention to what we're feeling. We need to pay attention to you know, the emotions that we're carrying and just the way that we're feeling about circumstance, and acknowledge how you're feeling, acknowledge what is happening for you, and see what it is that you can do to make your situation a little bit easier, a little bit better. The next card that we have is the 8 of Wands. So here we have our same little fox. foxes are depicted quite a lot, and I love how he's sitting amongst all the flowers, okay, all the wildflowers. We have got bees and butterflies, and there is an abundance. And he's looking at the sun, and he's looking at the sun's radiance. And we have these wands that are sort of, moving towards the sun. And the Eight of Wands is the card of movement and change. Now, this week in particular, sorry, not this week, this month in particular from an astrological point of view, is incredibly significant. There is so much on the go. There is so much happening astrologically, and major change is coming through for all of us. So we may not be feeling fabulous. And again, I say we because I'm a fire sign myself. We may not be feeling fabulous. We may be feeling a little bit overburdened, a little bit like, things are difficult and challenging. But we need to understand that it's progress, it's movement. And sometimes that movement requires healing on various different levels. So even if you're not feeling fabulous, you need to trust that everything's going to work out as it should. But this week, you need to understand that you're going to see a lot of progress. You're going to see a lot of change, a lot of movement that's going to come through for all of us. The next card we have is the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is the card of stress. It's the card of stress and of anxiety, of panic, of fear, of all of those kind of things. And fire signs, especially when we're not feeling on top of it, when we haven't initiated, when we haven't set it in motion, the change and the movement and everything that comes through can cause quite a lot of anxiety. Remember, what I was saying is that there is a lot of healing that needs to be done, and we need to take control of our own healing in order to, be able to influence that, in order for us to be able to bring it into power. Okay, so there is going to be a little bit of panic this week. There is going to be a little bit of that kind of insecurity around everything that's going on, but we need to just work through it. All right, it's important that we just find a way of working through it. I was excited to see the Seven of Cups come through, because the Seven of Cups is the card of choices and options. And, this immediately puts us back into a position of power. Here, we were feeling as if we were at a bit of a loss. Here, we were feeling a little bit insecure, a little bit uncertain, a little bit uneasy. Here, we felt like we weren't in control. And then suddenly the control comes back to us. So fire signs, the Seven of Cups is basically saying it doesn't matter how crazy things get. It doesn't matter how out of sync everything is. You've got to just understand that you always, no matter how dire the situation, no matter how crazy it is, you need to always recognize and understand how much choice you have. And, sometimes we can get quite overwhelmed with things that are taking place, that we forget this. And the healing or the healer within you needs to always remind yourself, hold a second, you are in control. You have choice here. You need to be in control. You will be in control. You have choice around what is taking place. So don't feel as if you have to just go with the flow. Don't feel as if you have to accept the hand that you've been dealt, because you certainly have control to change, to make some choices, to make some decisions. But there is going to be a little bit of stress around it for us this week. Now, when I look at the three cards across the bottom, the energy shifts quite dramatically, because here we had two foxes, we had a raven bird, we have a squirrel, but down the bottom here we've got the two hares and a dove. And this is a white dove. It's the dove of peace. It's the dove of understanding. It's the dove of judgment, okay, but positive judgment. We've got the healer here, which is the snake. So we've got all these these are two animal decks that I've chosen. But the two hares that we have, surrounding the white dove immediately gives me a sense of it's going to be okay. I immediately get that sense of peace, that sense of understanding. So when I look at this card, it is the Page of Pentacles. And again, he's sitting in the open. He is free. I love the little heart on his hind leg there. Isn't that just the cutest thing? He's got little flowers in his hair. He's got his friend the butterfly. We've got all the dandelions around him as well. And he has this huge big opportunity right here in front of his face, resting on the tip of his nose. We've got butterflies, we've got dragonflies, we've got all sorts of beautiful things that are happening here. Now, I want to say to you as well that, the situation that we have here with the Page of Pentacles is understanding that sometimes you are a little bit, or you feel as if you're a little bit out of your depth. That sometimes you feel as if you're not in control, that you don't have choice, that you don't quite know how things are going to pan out, all of this that's taking place. And there is this tendency to want to just run and hide. But we're going to be strong. We're going to heal ourselves from the inside. We're going to trust the situation. We're going to trust ourselves first and foremost. And we're going to recognize that we're strong enough to face our adversities and to face the situations that we find ourselves in. So fire signs this week, understand that yes, it may be new situations, new experiences, new dilemmas that you find yourself in, but don't get sucked into the worry and the stress about it. Just face it head on. And if you face it head on, you'll be actually quite surprised as to how easy it is to fix, to overcome, to mend. Then the next card we have is the card of Judgment. So we have this beautiful white dove. I love that its mouth is open, its beak is open, because it's almost like it's talking. It's like it's addressing all the butterflies. And it's saying, it's time to change. It's time to evolve. It's time to become. It's time to leave your worm life, and it's time to evolve into this life of freedom, this life of choice, this life of opportunity. We need to be careful though, because the judgment, it is about questioning our future, questioning who and what we're going to be. But the Judgment card is also about, don't be ashamed, afraid, or concerned around who you used to be, who you are, or who you are becoming. Okay. It is about lack of judgment. It is about being open with yourself, being okay with who and what you are, and not allowing yourself to get caught up in that chaos. Okay. So the Judgment card, fire signs, is basically saying, be comfortable with who you are, accept who you are, but also let's accept those around us. Let's not give judgment to our fellow man. Let's not give judgment to our neighbor. Let's accept everybody for who they are, because we are all unique, we are all different, and we are all wonderful. And that is the thing that's most important. But because of the healer, because of the overall message here, I do think that this is saying that you've got to learn to believe in yourself, to trust in yourself this week, to like yourself, to love yourself this week, and to not be so critical and so harsh with yourself this week. All right. So fire signs, our last card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles. So here we have our hair. He's got his helmet. He's got his coin. He's got his little shield on his chest protecting him. We've got the abundance of bees all around him again. But he's just sitting there, all right? He's not moving. He's not active. He's waiting. He's waiting for the right moment. He's waiting. Like, he wants to just observe his scenery first. He wants to first find out, how much energy do I have to extend here? How much effort do I have to put in? Because he doesn't want to rush into something and exert himself and dispel of all his energy, get rid of all of his energy if it's for nothing. So he's being cautious. All right, he's being very cautious. He's ready to go at a moment's notice. He's not afraid to jump in and get things sorted and to get things repaired. But he's also at the point now where he's saying, okay, let me just not be too quick to rush in. Let me just observe. And I know fire signs, I have to giggle, because, doing nothing, just observing when there is chaos is something that fire signs really struggle with. We all want to jump in. We all want to get things resolved quite quickly. But we need to learn. And I think, again, where the healer is coming from, let's just have a look at this healer card. Can you see how we've got one snake eating another, but it's the small snake, that's eating the big snake. So what happens when the small snake, gosh, I'm getting my words so tongue-tied, when the small snake eats the big snake, does the small snake become the big snake? Is it a learning process? Is it how we heal? Is it how we recover? Or what's happening here is it that the large snake is freeing itself from the little snake? But it is all about learning. It is all about understanding. It is all about compassion. I do love how there is this kind of infinity that's taking place here, okay? We have this infinity symbol that's taking place, which means it's a continuous, which means it's ongoing, which means we never really get to let it go, okay? So the message that's coming through for us fire signs is that this week we may be feeling a little bit down. We may be feeling a little bit heavy. Everything may be just all a little bit too much. There is so much going on, so much change that we have no control over, which is leaving us feeling a little bit stressed. We have to remind ourselves, and we have to consciously go looking for the choices and options that actually are available to us. Don't pay too much attention to what you have no control over, but pay attention to what you do have control over. Understand with the Page of Pentacles that there's, even though it's uncharted territory for you, and even though it's things that you maybe don't have a lot of experience, knowledge, or understanding, like you're out of your depth, okay? But there is still so much positive that's taking place. You do need to just take it easy and be slow and be kind to yourself. Don't be super critical, judgmental with yourself with your situation and your circumstance, because one thing we have to understand is healing needs to take place. You are in need of healing, but you are also your own healer. So give yourself the opportunity to heal in the way that you need to by choosing where you focus your attention for the week ahead. So fire signs, interesting one. I'm going to see how this plays out for all of us. As always, wishing you much love and many blessings. I hope you have an amazing week ahead with love and blessings from our heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care, fire signs.